Welcome to Past Paradise, where today we're diving into the mysterious and fascinating world of the Amish. If you've ever crossed paths with this tight-knit community, you may have noticed their unique way of life. But what lies beneath the surface is even more intriguing. Did you know that many Amish women undergo the practice of getting their teeth removed? A decision steeped in practicality and communal norms rather than necessity? From the simplicity of their weddings to their unconventional approach to healthcare and technology, the Amish have created a culture that's as captivating as it is enigmatic. Today we'll uncover the surprising reasons behind these practices, explore their values, and share astonishing insights about a community that thrives in its steadfast commitment to tradition amidst an ever-modernizing world. Get ready to be amazed as we pull back the curtain on the lives of Amish women and their extraordinary customs. What is it with Amish people and electricity? There are times when Amish people do use power, but that's only sometimes the case. Even though they don't use technology, they use power sometimes, like in an emergency. They don't accept technology for a specific reason concerning how much they believe in God. This is how they do things because of Gelassenheit, a German word that means the community should use the land the way God meant. The Amish let people have cell phones in their barns because they need them, but they can't be used in their houses. Amish men shun mustaches but grow long beards for an interesting reason. When you look at pictures of Amish men, you'll probably notice that most of them have long beards but clean-shaven faces. Mustaches were seen as a sign of wealth or service in the 1800s when this custom began. However, the Amish believe that mustaches are not for everyone. The Amish don't cut their hair because they think that's how God wants them to look. They cut off their mustaches because they didn't like what they stood for or how trendy it was at the time. Men sometimes shave their beards short, but most of the time they let them grow long. Those who are not Amish are considered something else. What the Amish do have is a history that goes back to when they first came to the United States. They call everyone who isn't Amish English, no matter what race or culture they are. They started this. They didn't have a word for foreigners because they thought they were American like everyone else. Because their outsider neighbors spoke English, they began calling them that, and the name stuck. The Amish don't like to break traditions, so they still call people from other groups English people. Teens are not considered Amish until they are baptized. Teenagers can be blessed and accepted as part of the Amish society after they return from their Rumspringa. The Rumspringa can last long or until they decide the outside world is not for them. There is no age limit for baptism. People can always come back to the neighborhood. For many teens, leaving their neighborhood and entering the English world is a big shock. They aren't used to the rules of our world because they have never been around that much technology. This makes them miss the ease of their old towns, and they go back pretty fast. Sometimes these teens never return because they like life outside school more. They do not take pictures unless it is someone from outside the community. No one in the Amish village has a Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter account. They don't have power or smartphones, so they don't even take selfies with each other. They won't even let you paint people, which doesn't use electricity, so why is it blocked? In the world of the Amish, it is against the rules to own pictures of people, even of your own family. When an Amish person dies, there are no pictures of them to look back on. Instead, people only have their memories. Pictures of people are thought to be graven images. Women have a very specific role in their society. Women learn how to sew, cook, keep house, and care for their children after school. This is because Amish women's job is to stay home and care for the family. They are made to watch over the kids as if they were babysitters. They don't have the right to be leaders in their societies and can't make their own choices. Most people might find this sad, but for them, it's all they know. Once they are married, their men are in charge, and they're to help them and ensure the housework gets done daily. It would be best if you learned all of their rules. You probably already know that the Amish have a lot of rules. These rules are written in a whole book, and everyone needs to learn them. The Ordnung is the name of this well-organized book, and everyone in the community always has a copy with them. There may be terrible results if any rules are broken. based on which rule was broken. In the Ordnung, there are rules about how people should dress, how kids should use technology, and how buggies should look. They have a particular way of life and expect everyone in the neighborhood to follow specific rules. What happens when you don't follow the rules? Different kinds of outcomes happen from time to time if you break the rules. People in the Ordnung take the rules very seriously, so breaking them can get you in trouble. A Meidung, or timeout, is one way to punish someone. This is when the community shuns someone for a while but still lives in the same area. Excommunication is another way to punish someone. Yes, this means you are entirely rejected by society and can no longer live there. This sentence may last for many months. The Amish give this sentence to people who have broken the law so that they can learn from their mistakes and hopefully say sorry and not break the law again. The Amish believe in God over science. Strong trust in God and dedication to their faith are essential to the Amish community. Things like DNA tests are against the law in their towns. Many people want to know more about their relatives or their origins. Because this checking isn't allowed, many people marry close family members. They breed by chance because their groups are small, and there are a few other choices. They don't mean to marry their cousins, but they do because they know it could cause problems with their genes. The Amish think that God meant it to be that way if you marry your third cousin. There is a ceremonial rite of passage that can last from a week to a few years. It is a rite of passage for teens who want to leave the community. This time is called Rumspringa, which comes from the German word for running around. It can last for a week or even a few years. However, for the Amish, the time range is insignificant. They hope letting teens explore the outside world will make them want to return when they've had enough. Being able to fully fit in with the Amish society as an adult depends on their willingness to return and accept the way of life. Teenagers can learn during this time that the English way of life is not for them. Amish couples share a bed before marriage for one night only. There are a lot of customs among the Amish, especially when it comes to dating and getting married. Before they get married, a couple can sleep in the same bed for one night, but can't touch each other that night. The Amish are very religious, so meeting someone before getting married is forbidden. They can spend one night together before getting married because the Amish think it makes the two people closer. Before making a promise to each other, they can talk and get to know each other better. They say that this night can either strengthen their relationship or show them if they are meant to be together. They cannot use cars, but they allow them to drive by. If you live near an Amish town, you may have seen them going along a busy road in a horse-drawn buggy. Even though they can't drive, they can be near other cars. There might be better ways to get around, but cars are sometimes better. The Amish think having a car, a sign of wealth and modern life, will make you give up your faith. Having a car is against the law because it lets you get to other places. A person who is not Amish can drive them to a business meeting if necessary. They believe your partner has to share the same faith. The Amish think that if you want to date someone, that person must also be religious. They believe this will make their marriage work. Before you can even date, you and your partner must be baptized into the Amish church. If two people want to get married, they have to go on all their dates in public places so that nothing private can happen. Plus, these aren't forced weddings. They think that you can marry anyone you want as long as they are Amish and believe the same things you do. Amish toys are made without faces for a very strange reason. Maybe you don't understand why any kid would want to play with these scary toys that don't have faces on them. The Amish make all of their toys without faces, and they have a good reason for it. The toys are always made by hand, and they look like they came from the life of the Amish. There is a little girl dressed in Amish clothes, a horse, and a vegetable. They are all soft and look the same. They didn't put faces on these toys to show kids that looks don't matter because everyone is loved and important. That's a good lesson for kids to learn early on. The Amish don't believe in formal government. The Bible is the only source of right and wrong in the Amish community. They have their own rules, but it's not really a government. Instead, it helps them live their lives in line with God. They don't let the government change their lives and don't accept any government. People who don't trust the government allow the church to decide what acts are punished and how they are judged. But if there is a serious crime in their community, they will call the cops because they know the church can't handle everything. You'll never guess where they spend their wedding night. After the church gives its blessing and the long service is over, the Amish pair can finally celebrate being married. The couple will spend their first night together as a married couple at the home of the bride's parents. It may seem strange, but this is how they always do things. As a sign of thanks, the pair always cleans the house the following day. After that, the couple will see other family members and switch between homes. Once this is done, the newlyweds can spend their first night together alone. There are a few different languages. These people are called Amish and speak 3 different languages very well. The most well-known is German, since they brought many German customs with them when they settled in the 1700s, including the language. There is only German spoken at all church events. British, English, and Pennsylvanian Dutch are the other 2. The first thing the newcomers did was learn English so they could talk to the Europeans who had already moved to North America. Pennsylvanian Dutch is a form of German that the Amish adopted. They talk about everyday things in this language. Babies are not baptized. A lot of faith groups believe that kids should be blessed, but the Amish don't follow that practice. The Amish don't bless babies because they think people should be able to choose to become Amish. Babies can't make their own choices, so their baptisms usually happen when they are 16 to 24. Why do they do this? Because they think people are now mature enough to choose whether to join the Amish society. There needs to be a blessing for the marriage to be accepted. The church, not the parents, needs to bless a partner before they can get married. This long-standing Amish custom happens soon after a pair starts dating. Usually, the guy proposes, and it can only go through if the church agrees. Should the church not agree with the couple, they are not allowed to get married. When the church agrees to a couple getting married, the news is printed in the town paper, and the couple gets married soon after. What does Amish mean? People have a lot of wrong ideas about the Amish because they talk to people only in their villages. A Swiss Anabaptist called Jakob Amann is where the word Amish comes from. For the Amish, he is the most important person and the person whose views they follow. Amann left the Mennonites to start his church for people who wanted to live simpler lives. Around 1720, this group moved to Pennsylvania, Ohio, and other Midwestern states. Since then, they've built prosperous villages, and people are interested in their straightforward way of life. The Amish have very specific wedding traditions. When 2 Amish people get married, it takes a long time. The wedding is straightforward, and neither the bride nor the groom wears fancy dresses or tuxedos. The bride wears a simple blue dress and a hat for the wedding. She can't wear any jewelry or makeup, not even a diamond ring to represent their marriage. In Amish custom, the man who asks her to marry him does not give her a diamond ring. Women don't wear jewelry, even when married, because it makes them look vain. Amish people don't get married for money or things because they don't value those things. They do it out of love. No house, no problem. While the Amish vacation lasts, partners go from one relative's house to another because this time has many parts. It is customary for them to spend their holiday in more than one place. Their first night together is with the bride's parents. After that, they see more people as husband and wife. While they are on vacation, they might still need to get a home. The newlyweds will live with their parents until they can get their place. Most people would think this is a bad idea, but for them, it's just what they do. They have a communal way of life. How the Amish live their lives, sharing is care. They help each other build barns and have big potlucks that everyone can enjoy. Everyone in the neighborhood has to bring something to this meal, which gives everyone a chance to talk to each other. The Amish believe it is essential to have a lot of people over for a meal. They share food and offer to help each other when someone is in need. It costs a lot to pay for medical bills if you don't have insurance. No matter what, the Amish will band together to help anyone who needs it. The community builds barns for specific people. The Amish are very close to each other. They always help each other out and stick together. A custom that goes back a long time is for people in the community to build a barn for someone special. Building the barns is a fun project in which everyone in the family participates. Most of the time, Amish barns last for hundreds of years because they are strong and stable. They don't use electricity to build these, so there aren't any power tools or cranes to help. Everything is done by hand. As a selfless act of service, this will help people who are in need. There is a big difference between Amish and Mennonites. People from the English world often mix up Mennonites and Amish, which is a big mistake. It would not be very kind to both groups if you called someone from the Amish village a Mennonite or the other way around. The ancestors of the Amish are the Mennonites, but the Amish live in very different ways. The Mennonites are only Christians, and compared to the Amish, they are very advanced. The Amish, on the other hand, have their religion and don't use any modern technology in their daily lives. Even if they dress alike, keep them distinct. They have a specific way of dressing. There are rules about how Amish people should dress, which you can see in all the pictures. These rules are in the Ordnung. The Amish are only allowed to wear bright colors or clothes tight enough. The clothes need to be made of plain stuff. Also, they can't wear hoodies or jackets. Because they are for women, the arms can be a little short or see-through. There must be a bib or ruffle around the neck, and they must wear it. For men, the only rules are about their beards and the hats they can wear. The rules say it can't be a Western cowboy-style hat. When children reach 8th grade, they stop going to school. It might seem strange today, but the Amish stopped attending school after 8th grade. Girls learn how to be good housekeepers when they finish school and start working as housekeepers. They know how to cook, sew, and knit so they can be great wives and moms one day. When the boys finish 8th grade, they must know what they want to do for a living, not the girls. The Amish don't need to go to school because they learn everything by doing. Their way of life is based on doing things with your hands. After 8th grade, they learn skills to be functioning members of the community. When Amish kids finish school in the 8th grade, they go to a trade school. There they learn different things that will help them fit in with the Amish community. The kids are free to pick any subject to learn. Some kids choose to work as housekeepers, builders, or in other trades. They have a lot of choices because everyone works in the community at some point. There are no churches. It may come as a surprise, but the church doesn't have a house. With vaulted ceilings and painted glass windows in many churches, the Amish don't see the need for something fancy like that. They like things to be clean and simple and think a church building would be too much. On the other hand, the Amish hold prayers anywhere and at any time. They don't care where it is, as long as they can practice their faith. It could be outside as the sun goes down, or in someone's barn. The Amish also think that their religion works for them, but they won't force you to follow it, and they never judge people of other faiths. Romans chapter 8, verse 12 is a passage they live by. People who are Amish live alone and away from other people, and there is a reason for that. Romans chapter 8, verse 12 is the most crucial verse for the Amish. This text tells them they shouldn't change to fit in with the world. So everything they do goes against what people in the outside world think is right. The Amish group has done a great job of cutting itself off from the rest of the world. They base everything they believe in on this text, which has helped them to be a successful group for hundreds of years. They do believe in modern medicine. Even though the Amish don't use power or most other technology, they believe in modern health. People will leave to visit a modern office or hospital if they need a doctor. There's nothing in the Bible that says people shouldn't get medical care, so the Amish don't mind. The Amish like natural and home cures, but they will go to the doctor if it is an emergency or something that can't be fixed with a natural remedy. Birth control is the only thing from modern science they don't believe in. Like many other faith groups, they think that having 5 to 7 children is a blessing, so people should have big families. The Amish population is rather large in America. The Amish live in secret from the rest of the world, and few people know about them. However, there are a surprising number of them in the United States. The number of Amish people is healthy and growing. There are now over 325,000 of them living in 31 states. Also, they are moving more toward the West. There are two kinds of Amish among those 325,000, the new and the old. The modern Amish think new ideas should be welcomed into their community, but the old Amish still don't like new things or technological improvements. The name for people who still don't use technology is Old Order Amish Mennonite Church. The youngest family member is the most important. Many faiths and nations give their wealth to the eldest son, the most praised member of the family. The Amish, on the other hand, believe that when their parents die, the younger son should get everything. The Amish think that by the time they die, their oldest children should have everything under control. So they leave everything to the youngest. When you think about it rationally, it makes the most sense. Only one type of music is allowed. The Amish way of life says there should be no way to show yourself. This may make a lot of people sad. Because of this, the Amish aren't allowed to listen to or play music. This rule ensures people keep the law out of pride. For some reason, they can listen to a certain type of music, songs from a German book called Auschwitz. That book is one of the oldest ones still used today. No music notes exist in these songs, but the tunes have been passed down from generation to generation. Many people have heard these songs, so they have yet to learn what the first ones sounded like. There is a strict rule about wedding dresses. An essential part of an Amish wedding is the dress the girl wears. The bride has to sew her dress, which must be blue. They can't get anything new because they have to follow the rule, something old, something borrowed, something blue. When an Amish woman gets married, she wears the same dress to church every Sunday after the wedding, which is different from other weddings. She will also be buried in this dress. They know how to make a piece of clothing last longer. They only have one store that they can shop in. Most of what the Amish need can be found in their community by farming or hand-making, so they can stay away from the rest of the world. They want to keep everything in their little bubble. There is one store, though, where Amish people can shop and buy things like paper, candles, and other things they can't grow. Some of Ashley's most exciting and wild hobbies are sleeping, sitting around, resting, and not doing anything. She has mastered the art of relaxing, which shows in how she writes, which is calm and soothing.
If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon